Pirate software just got exposed again. Yes, again. This is like the 20th time this year alone he has been exposed. This is what happens when your whole existence is based off of lies and people catch you, point them out, and you are hilarious because your ability to self-reflect and take responsibility is roughly in the corner of DSP levels. Great fun ensues.
Chronos says, did 50k bits at 20 seconds left? Pirate says, okay. What is the alt account? Chronos replies, serendipitous bean, where's the beef? And then below that, he says, didn't mention this to the mods either. Now the challenge is to clear the queue. We were actually able to receive an archived VOD of this stream. As a matter of fact, if I go ahead and jump over here to 726, we're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about.
I wished I could place my head between them and go full burr mode and make... What?
So this is him pulling it up on stream here, and I'll just go ahead and let the rest of it play as you guys...
So many streamers have done this exact stupid thing. Why? Most streamers have 2 or 3 monitors at this point. Why can't you just not have your Discord with probably tons of furry shit on the other monitor? Why is that hard? Why is that something that people struggle with so hard?
We'll see that this is indeed pirate software. The information that I'm going to be presenting to you guys in this video is going to, at a bare minimum, showcase yet another example of pirate software being incredibly scummy, or it could also include pirate software breaching the terms of service of Twitch, or at its worst, could actually spell legal consequences for pirate software. Now, at the time of recording this, I've spoken to a lawyer, and I'm actually going to be including a few
Faking donations can be illegal if it is, like, for an established cause, I think. So, that is not off of the question. Pirate software prison arc? Oh, baby, I am ready.
Few clips from our conversation that we had, as I think they're useful for this video, but I'm also going to be creating an update video where I go much more in depth with this lawyer after we fully go through the details of all the information that we've gathered. Through other people, we've also been able to get in touch with someone who works at Twitch to go over this possible alleged terms of service being broken at Twitch. I should also make it very clear that the legal ramifications are not going to be gone in full depth here, and they are just alleged right now. I'm not saying that he has broken any laws yet, but there is potential. But with this oversized preamble out of the way, let's get into the video. Now, this all starts late one night just a few days ago when somebody in my Discord, shout out to CK, ends up sending in a screenshot of this tweet. This tweet comes from Guy, and they say pirate software accidentally revealed his DMs with Kronos during the April 1st Twitch Giga.
Kronos is his lawyer that threatens to sue people in America while being himself in Britain, while not knowing American laws and not being legally able to actually be a lawyer in Britain. If anyone's wondering who that person is.
Train, showing that they were boosting it themselves. This is why the stream is unavailable to watch. And here we have this screenshot. I want to make it clear at this point, this is the only thing that we have in regard to this situation. So let's take a look at that screenshot. Now, in this screenshot, it is Pirate wearing a banana costume, or excuse me, a long lemon. And he's on Discord here, and it looks like he must have accidentally pulled up this Discord interaction that he was having with Kronos. That's his lead moderator. Reading off the messages here, the first one from Kronos is, Pirate responds, let me know if you do. Bits is going to be the best way to do it due to the return if you need to save it. Kronos says, bits rather than tier 3s? Pirate responds, tier 3s might be better, don't know. Bits is 82% return when you buy them in bulk. Have you bought any yet? Kronos says, I've done 100 tier 1s on my personal, ready to do 40 tier 3s on an alt, can do bits instead or both. Then Kronos says,
by the way, I just want to point one thing out. I, as everyone, love to make fun of pirate software, but the reality is everyone's faking this. Again, I don't think there is a single streamer, except like maybe 2, but one of them is XQC, and ironically, who does not view bot, who does not fake these things. Stuff like this has been happening for, I don't know, 10 years, 20 years? Well, no, as long as pretty much streaming has been a thing, the moment they introduced some hype stuff, people started abusing this. There are tons of streamers getting caught subscribing to themselves and doing things like that. It's pretty stupid. But obviously, Pirate Software is going to do something like this. And if you would ask him, his answer would be, I would never do this. I have never done this. These screenshots edited on Notepad+++ because I'm a super good programmer. That's why 3 pluses.
Did 50k bits at 20 seconds left. Pirate says, okay. What is the alt account? Kronos replies, serendipitous bean, where's the beef? And then below that, he says, didn't mention this to the mods either. Now the challenge is to clear the queue. So that's a lot to throw at you at once, and we're gonna pick it apart as we go over this video, but what is going on here? Now to preempt this, some people might know that Twitch uses this thing called a hype train. Essentially, the more you get donations or gifts in a short amount of time, it raises the level of this hype train. And when you pass certain benchmarks,
Dude, the fact that Twitch literally just called it a hype train, and people are like, oh, why won't you go on the hype train? It just kills me inside so hard, I'm not gonna lie.
people unlock things. For instance, last year on April 1st, back in 2024, Twitch's hype train record smashed again by Pirate Software. And they go into detail about Pirate breaking the Twitch hype train world record, with his channel reaching level 106 on April 1st. Once the hype train was initiated, it took Hall roughly 3 hours to beat his previous level 55 world record from December, with viewers contributing 54,380 gifted.
Dude, everyone who has a favorite streamer who's like the top, the top, like, I don't know, 10 on whatever platform. Oh my god, it's so fucked. Listen, you're a streamer and you have this ability to say, okay, boys, I'm doing a hype train. Now all of you just give me money. And that's the whole shtick. And people are like, oh, yes, I'm gonna donate to the hype train. I just die inside, okay? I just really die inside when I see something this stupid. And it works. It works so well because this is just a bunch of 10-year-olds.
Subs, alongside regular subscriptions, and 8.2 million bits, likely earning Hall a healthy 6-figure sum in the process. And he goes into a bit more detail. Hype trains, a feature that Twitch launched in 2020, are a limited time event triggered when a channel receives an uptick in bits or subscriptions, pushing past a streamer designated threshold. And you can see here that the people that were a part of this hype level 100 train were given the Kappa Infinite emote, dropping in chat for hype train participants. I wanted to show this because it'll be important later, but Veedle is a name of a VTuber who ended up beating that record and getting to a 111 level hype train. And this is what—
Oh, Pirate Software must have been fucking mad about that. By the way, there's one thing being slightly not happy that someone broke your record or something like that. It's another complete thing knowing that you faked your record, but that person probably did it legit. That's just adding salt on the wound. I love it.
What Pirate Software had to say when they found out their record was broken.
So Veedle broke the hype train record. Veedle's record is now level 111, and that's wild. I think that's freaking incredible, to be honest with you.
Oh.
With help from Valorant, I mean, yeah. So during that hype train, they got an extra 19,000 subs from Valorant, which is wild, like absolutely wild. So I think they ended up with something like 80,000 subs. Our hype train was 54,000 subs, but you guys had given 8 million bits, and that was kind of the difference between the two. No, there's no cheating. No, don't try to diminish what they did at all. I think Veedle is an amazing content creator. I think Neurosam is cool.
You can tell that he is low-key pissed and unhappy about this, by the way. You can tell that he is low-key not happy. Oh, oh man, I just love these kinds of people, okay? Well, I love making fun of these kinds of people. Oh man, it's just so good.
Shit.
So that specific part about cheating, what do you think that Pirate means by that cheating? He said, no, let's not take that away. I don't think there was cheating. Don't diminish that. I would assume
that no one said that, and Pirate Software just did a classic but fantastic self-reflection.
that cheating in terms of building up a hype train would maybe be to artificially inflate it yourself, by chance coordinating with a mod of yours, maybe your head mod, to keep a hype train alive. I would say that myself. Could be wrong, interested to hear what you guys think, but let's continue on. And to make it clear, we're not contesting his 106 level hype train that happened back in April of 2024. I have no reason to believe that there were any shenanigans involved with his 106 world record breaking one, as I don't have any evidence of that. And regardless of your understanding of his pattern of behavior,
If he faked the first one, he's probably faking the second one. That's how these things happen, okay? People don't steal one thing. they steal one thing and then they keep stealing until they're caught. This is how these things happen.
Anything like that. I'm not making that allegation myself. I'm not saying anything about that specific achievement. We're talking about this year, April 1st, 2025. Now, I think one of the most important parts about this is validating that this is a real screenshot. And how are we going to do that? Because as it stands right now, Pirate Software had removed
Are we gonna look at the pixels?
the YouTube VOD, and as well as the Twitch VOD ends up deleting itself after 60 days. And I think we hit that threshold. Now, this leak could be the reason that this ended up getting taken down, this VOD, but there's another potential reason as to why, and it actually comes from that head moderator that you saw in the screenshot, Kronos. Now, I had replied to Guy, and I'm actually going to show you two different ones. The guy actually posted this screenshot in a couple of other places. I said, hey, where were you able to find this? Would like to get some more info on this. And then they replied, it's my own screenshot from the stream, ex-subscriber. And so I said, could you send me a screenshot of where that file is in your folder just so we can see a timestamp of that picture? I know that's weird, but the more info we have, the more we can validate this. And I give my Discord. Well, Kronos replied back, and you guys might
Oh no!
recognize this phraseology here. You could have asked me about this one had you reached out. Well, I couldn't reach
Oh yeah, like why?
out to Kronos unless I added him and then he accepted my friend request on Discord, since we don't share a mutual server, which means I can't just message him even if we aren't friends. But he goes on to say, I've spoken about this before, but I guess the truth isn't as compelling. Kronos VII on Discord. VOD was removed to prevent a 2025 repeat of people watching the 2024 video and messaging donators, myself included. Now, I should note that I also
What does that even mean? That's just that's not the answer to any question that was asked. Bro. I hope Pirate Software at least pays Kronos like 5 times below average wage, okay? He earned at least that much, okay?
said, if you could send me your January comments relating to this, I'd love to have them. Also, sent you a friend request on Discord. That was 12 hours ago. He still has not added me back.
This is what these people do, okay? This is what a lot of cheats and a lot of scammers and whatnot will do. They will interact on the most surface basic level of, I'm the good guy, you know? If you want information, you should have just contacted me. They want you just to look bad for that moment. But the second you actually follow through with it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna add you and ask you things. They're not gonna respond. They're not gonna accept it. They're gonna probably ban you or ignore you. Because the moment you ask them, they can't do anything. But they can try at least to make you feel insecure or bad about the things that you did. Because, oh, look at this dude. He's coming forward to help you with your thing. He's here to fix the record, straighten it out. But not too much, because Pirate Software did work at Blizzard for 7 years. So, you know, stuff like that. You gotta love it. You gotta love it when these people are like, I'm innocent, just ask me any question you want, and then vanishing act.
Still waiting on that response. But I think to remain charitable here, the VOD was removed to prevent
Well, for Pirate Software, it's being out of mana, but it is what it is.
2025 repeat of people watching the 2024 video and messaging donators. Let's just go with that. Now, Kronos made another reply, and I want to highlight this. He said this before. In January, during the WoW drama, people contacted me and others about donating during the Hype Train record in 2024. This year, I did less from my main and did some on an alt. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a bit confused about this message. People contacted me and others about donating during the Hype Train record in 2024. I think he's saying that in the same fashion that they were people harassing donators in the last one back in 2024, he didn't want to have the same issue, so he donated and wanted to make donations.
No one harassed donators. This is just, again, Pirate Software saying, I got death threats. My community is being harassed. I'm the good guy. Why don't you trust me? It's just that garbage again.
From that alternate account. Now, based on how I'm reading this, and again, I could be wrong, maybe I'm misunderstanding what Kronos said, but he said that he did do 100 tier 1s on his personal. Now, if you have an issue with people harassing you, and you end up using an alt, I would figure that you would probably send most of the donations through that alt account, but sending 100 separate tier 1 subs, or maybe they were grouped in 5s, 25, maybe did it all at once, that's still putting your name up there. That's still going to get people to message you. So, I mean, having the VOD deleted afterwards is going to solve all of it regardless, so you shouldn't have to worry about if you donated it using your personal account. The VODs have been wiped. I just wanted to make sure I went through both of his messages. I'm not trying to cherry pick here, but let's move on to how we were able to confirm that this existed in the first place. Number one, Kronos is not refuting it, but more importantly, number two, we were actually able to receive an archived VOD of this stream. Now I'm about to show you guys an archived VOD of this exact stream where we're
Only this side has sound for some reason? Sus?
able to prove that those leaked DMs showed up in this stream. Now, at the time that I first showed this, and the first time that I had found it in my Discord, as that's where it was sent in, I didn't know who had archived this, but I want to give credit to the individual who had this archived VOD, and that is Scorpion from MK on Kiwi Farms. And I want to apologize that I did not know this going into
Dude, Kiwi Farms has that fucking cataloging the future before it even happens with Pirate Software. It's kind of insane. But I mean, that's what happens when you become literally the #1 locale for, good reasoning.
my stream. Again, you deserve full credit for this, and I genuinely really appreciate that you had this VOD. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this solid proof to back up this screenshot that we had found, so thank you. Here it is in all of its glory. It is 11 hours and 59 minutes and 57 seconds. To the best of my knowledge, this stream was 12 hours long. So they usually do that 11-hour 55 cut, so we have the entire thing, and it's not super relevant to be missing those last couple of minutes because we have everything we need here. As a matter of fact, if I go ahead and jump over here to 7:26, we're going to see exactly what I'm talking about.
I wished I could place my head between them and go full burr mode and make...
What?
So this is him pulling it up on stream here, and I'll just go ahead and let the rest of it play, as you guys will see that this is indeed Pirate Software. You can see his messages between Kronos, the ones that we were just showing you, and then you're going to watch him go ahead and delete the text-to-speech that he just heard.
What? What is this? Where is it? I'm gonna find this. I need to find your message. God damn it, click. Click, you garbage machine. What? Who are you? Why are you like this? Number 400.
Cringe.
120. Deleted. Jesus Christ.
Now, number one, as far as I'm concerned, I think that's aptly proving that, yes, this is indeed Pirate Software. He's going through, he deleted the text-to-speech, you heard him talk.
I mean, we don't need proof, okay? No one cares about proof on this level. I mean, we know what's happening. We are here. We are done.
About it, and he had the authority to delete that message. Now, the other thing I found interesting about this little chain of events here is that he quickly switches to a different DM after he realizes that this is on screen, and that happens before he goes to his Discord, and he looks a bit panicked, but that again, I'm speculating here, right?
What? What is this? Where?
He jumps over to this one first to, clear so you guys can't see what he's saying
Yeah.
to Kronos, and that's when he starts looking for his server.
Is it? I'm gonna find this. I need to find your message. God damn it, click.
So now that we've confirmed that this really does exist, it existed on that VOD, let's take a look at that screenshot again. So this specific bit up here, let me know if you do. Bits is going to be the best way to do it due to the return if you need to save it. Bits rather than tier 3s. Tier 3s might be better, don't know. Bits is 82% return when you buy them in bulk. Have you bought any yet? Now my leading theory here
Yeah, I mean, the leading theory is you do the hype train and then you refund it.
specifically with that 82% number that Thor is throwing out, has to do with the conversion rate when you get bits into a Twitch stream. Now, as you can see here, when your viewers perform and confirm an action that requires bits within the extension on your channel page, you'll earn 80% of 1 US cent per bit used, and the remaining 20% is shared with the extension developer. So here's that 80%, but let's do a little bit of that math. So taking a look
Wait, extension? Did Twitch really call themselves extension developers? Jesus.
here, I just took a screenshot. It went into a Twitch stream, went to the bits, and you can actually get a 12% discount at
Whoa, so he donated him 600 buckaroonies, damn.
5,000 bits. So that puts you at a $308 price tag. Now to make this a bit easier to understand, one of my buddies here actually created this here, so special thanks to them, but we're showing that 82%. So bit is 82% when you buy them in bulk. What he means is If you spend $308 to buy 25,000 bits, donate them, the streamer gets $250. And then of course Twitch takes its fee, that 20% being $58, which means that $250 is the money going out, like to the streamer, and $308 is the money that you put into the system to give that $250 to the streamer. So that's how you end up getting a return on your money of 81.1.6. Now there is that 0.84%, discrepancy between this 81% and 82% the pirates are referencing, but I think that that is a safe enough margin
No one cares.
of error when we're talking about this. But all of that math is to show that this 82% return when you buy them in bulk is referencing that they are receiving 82% of the funds that are used in these donations, meaning that 82% is going.
Oh, wait. Since Pirate Software most likely is giving Kronos money to do this, he's just losing the 18%. That's it. They don't even need to do a refund here. Can you even actually refund? Ah, that's on me, boys.
To Pirate Software, which would then in turn, and I think the only reason Pirate Software is talking about this return is because that money would be going back to Kronos. So not only would he be able to donate to this hype train and help it out, which
No. The money is not going to Kronos. Pirate Software gave Kronos money just to buy this shit. That's it.
he literally admits to, as we see in these messages here. Right down here, he says, did 50k bits at 20 seconds left. But they're also trying to save as much overhead as possible and get it back to Kronos without bleeding as much money. Now, I'm sure there's a potential for another reason for them to have been talking in this way. That is my best guess based on the information that I was able to pull about the bits, percentage of what goes to the creator, what ends up going to Twitch. Interested to hear what you guys think if anyone understands these systems a bit better. Now, another wrench in this point is the fact that Kronos lives in the UK, so we don't know for sure if he's using that or, the currency where he lives. And that could play a factor since the price of bits is different based on where you're from. But first, I want to go over that alt account that Kronos is referencing. Now, this is that serendipitous bean account. It does exist.
We're gonna go over the accounts and surprise, surprise, they were literally just made for this occasion, I'm assuming.
On Twitch. Moreover, if we go over and look at the overview for this profile, and that's over here on Twitch Tracker, we can see that the account was created April 1st of 2025, which would line up with the timeline of having this alt account created on the same day that this stream was recorded. And then going back here, we can see Kronos referencing what his alt account name is and saying, where's the beef? Now, this is important. As a matter of fact, still in Pirates Discord, there are these answered TTS from 3 months ago, which lines up with that time frame. And here we can see, probably the one that I'm specifically referring to here is my favorite ferret is beef, because where's the beef? So I think it's pretty safe to say we can tell that this is Kronos, since he literally said verbatim, where's the beef in the Discord messages between him and Pirate.
Again, we don't need proof for all of this, okay? Let's move onward. There's probably better Pirate Software garbage.
The other mods, but then right below that says, now the challenge is to clear the queue. Now, what's this clear?
Yeah, what's this queue? I thought it was the text-to-speech thing.
The queue. Well, there's actually an answer, and this is in the form of one of Pirate Software's shorts.
What's the TTS queue and wait time? So every time somebody donates to do a TTS, I actually have a system, and you can see it goes into this queue. Every time I hit this button, like this, it eats.
Amph cheer 500 loving war within so far as a warlock.
But yeah, your message then goes into Discord. It actually has a timestamp here to show where that's going on, so you can click on it, and it works, right? And then if I don't get to your message by the end of the stream, it goes into debt. And right now, we've given $56,805 to charity since November of last year. Because if I don't answer your message, I don't deserve the money, so we pay it to charity.
So I think that's all that you specifically need to know. Now we understand that every TTS that doesn't get cleared through the queue, meaning Pirate ends up playing it for the stream, that ends up all getting donated to charity. And it seems like Kronos is well aware of that fact, and so now the challenge being to clear the queue means that they.
By the way, you know what always kind of just is a massive thing to me about Pirate Software and how much of an ass he is? It's the fact that when you look at this, you can see the Heartbound logo here, the heart thing, right? It's from Heartbound. So he has it there because he's so proud of his game that he refuses to finish for like a goddamn decade at this point, pretty much. That's kind of insane, honestly. If I was willingly ignoring something and did not want to finish it, I would probably not be using it as like a thing on my stream constantly, because that's just really awkward.
deserve the money, so we pay it to charity.
So I think that's all that you specifically need to know. Now we understand that every TTS that doesn't get cleared through the queue, meaning Pirate ends up playing it for the stream, that ends up all getting donated to charity.
Oh, that's why it's the challenge, because they don't want that to be donated to charity. That would be lost money.
And it seems like Kronos is well aware of that fact. And so now the challenge being to clear the queue means that they want to make sure that they get through everything so that none of it gets donated to charity. Now that could be nefarious, but also at the same time,
Yep.
I think the goal is that he does want to read through them all because he wants to, you know, appreciate the people that have been sending the money to him. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure their goal is to get through every single one of those texts.
Yeah, exactly. This is just that thing for the donations is just like your typical, oh, Hassan donated 1K to a shelter or some shit like that, okay? After he burnt down 3 shelters. This is people use donations and charities just a way to make people be like, oh, why are you attacking him? He donated money to a charity. He's so good for that. Stop the attacking. Yeah, no.
Speeches, and inevitably, you know, they will end up donating some to charity because they might not be able to get through all of them in a single stream. And it ends up being that if they don't read it, ends up going to charity. So I don't really see an issue per se with that. Some people could take it that way. I don't think I necessarily need to make that argument because I think there's a reasonable understanding that, of course, the goal is to clear the queue every time. And it's not just because it's all going into their pockets, although that's the main reason, but they do also just want to respect the viewers that have sent their money in. But now let's talk about that Twitch terms of service and if this is breaching that terms of service. Now this hinges on the hypothesis that Kronos is getting paid back by Pirate through these bit donations that he did. And he did 75,000 bits.
Again, there's no reason to do it like this. This is so again, we know how this is done just from other people. You're a big streamer. You take your money, you donate it to your grandma. Well, not donate, but you just literally give 1,000 to Gram so she can buy you bits and write a comment about knitting sweaters or some shit. That's it. It was never their money. You just gave them money to buy things on your behalf. Kronos is not wasting his money and then Pirate Software is like sending it into his team of experts and figuring out, okay, how much do we need to pay Kronos back? They're not doing that.
In total, so $750. Now, of course, there was a little bit less due to that 12% discount, but that's the ballpark here. And again, reached out to see if someone from Twitch can actually better clarify if any terms of service were broken. So at this moment, this is all just speculation, and I don't have any other confirmation. Now, what I'm
Faking stuff has to be against terms of service for Twitch, right?
showing you guys here is from Twitch's legal bits acceptable use policy. Now I'm just going to read the title of this area that I'm going to be reading from. Bits cannot be directly exchanged for items or services of value. Now that specifically directly exchanged is a bit, you know, convoluted here since it's going directly to the stream, but then supposedly, potentially Kronos will be getting paid back. The front line reads, don't engage in an exchange of bits for items or services that typically are associated with a cost or value. Communities can gather to achieve a goal that unlocks a benefit or experience for the community, explained further below. Creators can announce benefits in response to individual cheers. However, in each of those scenarios, the activity does not provide a return of anything of value. And down here explicitly, it says, now the don'ts that constitute violations of this policy. Don't solicit bits in exchange for money or donations, and don't request money or donations for bits. Now, this doesn't work because Pirate is not saying, hey, we're, you know, giving you guys money if you give me bits. And it's also not Kronos requesting money for those donations. But if we come down here, we can see this specific point here: selling, offering to sell, trading, bartering, or transferring bits to other users of Twitch in exchange for real or virtual currencies. Now this, we could make the argument that the selling, or I should say offering.
This is not actually it. This is just the all of this is just actually meant to say, oh yeah, you can't launder money on Twitch. This is what it means. The whole point of this is like, okay, we send you... so there's not a situation where someone is like, hey, I'm gonna send you 10,000 bits. You're gonna make 8K from that? But from that 8K, you're gonna only keep 1 and send us 7. That's called money laundering. This is not actually for stuff like what's currently happening, but this whole rules section is directly to create a legal boundary between Twitch and money laundering.
Offering to sell or transferring bits to other users of Twitch in exchange for real currency would be the equivalent of Kronos donating those bits to Pirate
Wait, do we get to call this video Pirate Software Caught Laundering Money? Holy.
Stream, knowing that he's getting this, as we talked about, that 82% return. Or I should say that that 82% return is going to Pirate. That assumption being that this return of 82% is for Pirate so that he can get it back to him and lower the...
Or scamming viewers, because, wait, yeah, he is. So, the reason, yeah, this is actually so simple. The reason why this must be a Twitch violation is because he's scamming his viewers. He's not directly taking their money, but he's creating fake hype. And that scams people, lulls them in a false sense of security that people actually care and they donate. This is scamming. Holy. We get to call the video Pirate Software scams his viewers. Nice.
Or overhead costs. Now again, there is nothing directly stating outright you cannot, as like a moderator or an employee for a streamer, donate bits to, get that money back afterwards. But there's no specific ruling on that, or not at least that I've seen from the research that
there can be a specific ruling, but it gets really muddy. Because a ruling like that, how does that sound? If you work for a stream or are acquaintances with the streamer, you can't donate to them? Yeah, that's just like, no one can donate to him because reasons. It doesn't work like that.
I put together, or that any research with people that I have worked with making this video have found themselves. Now, other examples of this Twitch terms of service potentially being broken here has to come from spam, scams, and other malicious conduct. And listed below in, for example, you may not, it includes this part here. Now, I spoke with the lawyer that had actually worked with Private Parts back when he received a cease and desist from Pirate Software in regard to his video game, including...
Oh, yeah, that one. Oh, man. Too bad he didn't sue Pirate Software for damages.
Pirate Software's voice in it. Now, I spoke with him a little bit about this specific point, and he had some really interesting information to provide in regard to the fact that Pirate Software might have a different contract with Twitch that would supersede the terms of service that would typically apply as a blanket for most people that are streaming on Twitch.
There's another layer here too.
That is possible, I guess. There were people who previously could actually get the Twitch subscription to not be $5, but like $2 or something like that, like their special price, and only for them. So I guess that's possible, true, but I kind of doubt it.
Right. Okay. So there's the terms of service that most of us are going to have available to us, but someone like him, he may have a different terms of service that we don't get to see. He may have a separate individual contract. He could have a separate written agreement that says literally on it, Twitch terms of service are superseded by our written agreement. Thusly, you may only think you may think, and Twitch may allow you to think, because that seems more fair. It seems like more fair for gamers if the rules are all the same for everybody. But no, they don't have to tell you that. Nobody has to tell you that. So he has. And I would be kind of surprised, actually, if he didn't have a separate agreement that said, those terms of service do not apply except to this extent, or superseded except to this. I mean, if I were him, I would want to have a separate agreement, and his agreement it's possible. Who knows? We don't know what his contract is. We could talk theoretically about what.
I don't think that would be, because again, if you're allowed to fake hype, if you're allowed to fake interactions, then the platform is literally just goading people into believing untrue things, and they are a part of that process. Wouldn't that be too dangerous for Twitch to allow? I think it would be.
Twitch's turn.
I mean, that definitely sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen. Twitch is trying to make people believe that X is happening so they donate money. That's illegal.
Terms of service, how it would apply if it applies to him, but we honestly don't know. And that kind of thing isn't that, honestly, is not that uncommon. in the real business world, like in when it comes to real business and you're dealing with real large amounts of money, people have individual they don't, there's contracts of it real bad.
But now let's specifically tackle legality. Like, US law, is what he did illegal? Based off the information that I have now, it's very, very shaky at best. And I say that because it's the information that I have right now. Now, in a future video here, probably within the next few days, I'm going to be having a full-on conversation and go really in depth about the details of this with the lawyer I was just showing you guys.
Footnote rebuttal. What?
Is paying me a lot of money to run ads. I've accepted this deal, but I hate ads. So how do we fix this? I take half of this money, and I turn it into tier 1 subs for you, which is over 200 subs, and then I gift those to the community. So all the people that get those 200 plus subs don't have any ads for the entire month. But since I gifted half of this, 39% of a tier 1 sub comes back to me. And Twitch still pays me a bunch of money on top of that, so I actually make about $1,700, which is more money than I make in a month normally. And also none of you get to watch ads.
Now, my first rebuttal
God damn it.
to this is the fact that it is 200 tier 1 subs coming from Pirate Software. He's saying that he would be gifting that to his community. So number one, we know that Kronos is the one that is
The thing you need to know about this is the fact that his stream is not 200 people. So gifting tier 200 tier 1 subs to himself, so his stream doesn't get to watch ads, is complete bullshit. That is hilarious. Anyway, that was Quentin, 10 out of 10. Bye.